Okay, so I forgot to say this, or I was saying it a little bit wrong. Okay, so Yeshua Yahweh, he stands here alone, and that's the Sun God. That's the God of the sun. He is the first, he of his kind, or whatever the case may be. He was made to protect us from the four planets that started getting closer. I don't know if you heard me say earlier on in other videos, and there's going to be some mistakes, okay? But we become better people when we're willing to correct them, which is the purpose. That is the purpose for all of us, is to come back and correct every mistake we've ever made. And so if I do make mistakes, I'm willing to fix them. I'm willing to go back and be like, oh, I accidentally said it. Like I was calling Madam Galaxy, which is my capital SGM. I was calling her Mama Gaia a minute ago. And she's not Mama Gaia. Mama Gaia is the planet Earth. So that was my bad. So anyways, Yeshua Yahweh, he stands here. He's the sun God. He is my brother, husband. He was the first protector. He was the first God made protector. They made him to protect us, because the more that the moon came closer to Mama Gaia, because he started watching her like the Heavenly Father, or whatever the case may be. The closer he got and the longer he stayed, he managed to dim Mama Gaia's natural light. Okay, one of the parts of the vision that I forgot to say also too, because like I said, I do switch around from different subjects. It's a lot of information, but okay, so like I said, after he came and he talked, and he the moon god, that was who it was, the moon god, Satan, Gabriel, whatever you want to call him. He came and approached the Heavenly Father about the fact that he was watching Mama Gaia. He wanted to know why he made her and all these other things, and then he calmed the situation down, because that's what he does, because he doesn't leave or forsake you. He Gabriel, Satan, the moon god, he was never cast out of heaven. He fell just like we all did. It's a submission. We choose to come back to help, right? Whatever the case may be. If we're angels, but once we've been in here and we've destroyed or managed to mess up something, we don't get out the washer until we don't ascend until we fix what we messed up. So once we ascend what we've messed up, now we become angels, and we do have the choice to come back or not to come back. But I know there's going to be a lot of babies that choose to take a break for a while. Okay, and that's okay. That's a choice that you make, and we love the choices that you guys make, whatever the case may be. Okay, so part of the vision that I forgot to speak on, and it's actually one of the most important parts, super beautiful for me, anyways. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Not only have I not ever acknowledged self in this physical form until I had the veil was lifted, I had my awakening, or whatever the case may be. I was enlightened, and whenever I was up here in the heavens, I was in the sixth dimension, or whatever the case may be. Anyways, excuse me. Okay, so he talked to him, whatever the case may be, calmed the situation down, and then he jumped back to talking to, not talking to, but focusing on his wife. Which is also, once again, guys, it is his daughter. He made 9 suns with 9 planets. That was in a reflection of them, each one of them personally, or whatever the case may be. The moon god, yes, you could have manifested way more than just rock and cold and whatnot. And you also are going to get your chance to be able to fix what you messed up. That way you can go and do exactly what it is that you always dreamed of, in every positive, loving way. And I'm not talking about, sometimes people love out of bad things, or whatever the case may be. Once we get up off this ground, Black Puma colors, shout out. Once we get up off this ground, shaking these leaves back down to the brown, 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 we will be clean. Okay, so everybody is going to be healed. What we do in the United States is going to illuminate. Our waves is going to go out so fucking far around the world, and heal and fix the world. And then what's happening in Mama Gaia is going to reflect, and we're going to fix the galaxy. This is the mission, guys. This is the mission. It's not just mine, it's everyone's, or whatever the case may be, to fix everything that we messed up, whatever the case may be. And then we will walk up to grace and back into our natural forms. Yes, the skies are going to open up, and eventually you're going to be able to see the planets that's over there, or whatever the case may be. You're going to be able to see the galaxy. You're going to be able to see the Heavenly Father. And yes, no matter what you believe, babies, there is a man standing up there in heaven, and he is not judging you. They haven't fucked up shit. We have. We messed it up here all together, bumping waves, auras, elbows with one another, with trauma and drama and hate and disgust and all this other stuff. We messed it all up. Yes, the babies, whenever the babies pass away or whatever the case may be, it's a situation more off on the parents. And I know I'm not trying to hurt any spirits. I'm not trying to hurt any spirits, but the truth has to be told, the truth and nothing but the truth. All right. And so I'm saying to you is that once you step outside of yourself, you're not inhabiting your mind, body, soul, and spirit, or whatever the case may be, then you look and seek for help and knowledge in other places, right? And so you guys submit to these doctors. We need your help. My baby coughed. We need your help. And that's not, I apologize. I'm saying sometimes it's small things, and then the doctor, what they say in the hood, we found us one, Coach Gotten type of thing. So they, they there to play out that trauma with you, or whatever the case may be. So some of these babies on this planet that are being tested on at these hospitals, or it's for children, and we help the world, and we do it all for free and stuff like that. Of course, baby, they're scientists. They manifested you to be able to play out their desires and wishes and dreams. Now it's up to you as a part of the simulation, right, to step outside of it and inhabit your own shit and be like, no, I know my baby can be healed by natural causes, natural things, to opposed to me saying, oh, you're the one that can help me, right? Whatever the case may be. But anyways, so it's us that messed it up, and we're gonna fix it all. I have no doubt about it. We have no doubt about it. Okay. So after he walked off, or whatever the case may be, and the Heavenly Father started watching his wife once again, or whatever the case may be, before I can even get a chance to look over his shoulder and finish watching, basking in the beauty with him, next thing you know, I am looking at grass. Then I noticed the same flowers that I was just looking at, right? And then I started looking at my hand like a baby would, like, what's happening? I was just standing up here beside him and them. You know what I'm saying? Where am I at right now? Then I started looking around, and I seen the water. Then I seen the actual, and I said what I said. I seen the frame of my glasses. So at this point, I know that I'm me. I know it sounds crazy, but at this point, I know I'm me, and I don't have any clothes on. So then instantly I remember, oh my goodness, I'm down there where they were just watching. I'm still so naive to where it didn't even dawn on me what they're trying to reveal to me. So then I look up, and that's when I noticed that Mama Gaia possessed her own natural light before the sun was even made. Remember, she's planet 10, he's 11. He wasn't even made yet, right? And so I look up, or whatever the case may be, and I'm at peace in my heart to know that I know that they're watching me. And still, it didn't dawn on me, guys. It didn't dawn on me that they're showing me that I'm the first human act ever. Not of these different species, or whatever the case may be. I'm the first human act on Mama Gaia. There's other brothers. I mean, there's other uncles, or whatever the case may be. They're considered our uncles. They're considered Mama Gaia's brothers. So those are our uncles. The 9 planets that came before us, all of them are our uncles and eventually cousins, because each one of the planets manifested sons in their image, which are their little boys, not an actual another son, or an actual son with the heat and stuff. They were their sons in their in their image. They're over there manifesting, and the more and more every planet is manifesting, there's more stars being made, because we have a reflection of a star, because we're great, all of us, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness. Once I finally got it, I was like, oh my goodness. First of all, where's my Bible? Because they said Adam was here first. I'm not trying to be funny, but it was crazy to me that we seen this, and even though we were reading what we was reading, and we was in these churches believing all these things, or whatever the case may be, the truth of the matter is that how could that even be the case? Oh, this is what I love to hit people with, and out here in the world right now, I'll be doing it, because I just like to hear people's thoughts and stuff like that. It's to me, it's practice, right? Or whatever the case may be, because I'm not used to talking to groups of people. But it's a part of my path, and so I got to get comfortable, fixing my feng shui, getting comfortable in my skin that I live in. Okay, so I like to rhyme sometimes, but not rapper. I'm not a rapper. Okay, so they were revealing to me that I am the Eve, monochondriac. Oh, I know I massacred it right then. Eve. That they date. She dates back in from Africa, and she's the mother of creation, mother of humanity, is what they like to call it, like in the dictionary and Google and whatnot. Mother of humanity. The ancestors told me to call them human acts because we're God in human form. That is the only thing that human act means, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so like I said, it took me a while to even grasp it because I've been what this world would deem me to be a nobody. I watered myself down to make everybody that I loved around me comfortable. So that's why a lot of people don't like me nowadays, but that's okay. I love me. I spend a lot of time alone, which is great, or whatever the case may be, because until you're ready, you're not ready. You know what I mean? It took me 37 years to even shit. After my awakening, when I was 37, because I'm finna be 40, right? In this physical world, I'm finna be 40 years old next year, right? And the ancestors told me that I'm a leap year baby. So in astrology, which is the heavens, in astrology, I'm a leap year baby. So I only have a birthday every 4 years. So that means in hindsight, I'm not about to be 40. I'm about to be 10. I am just a mere child. No matter what my age is, no matter how, if a person is older than me, it doesn't even matter. Then I find out that I'm the first. That means that I'm older than all of y'all. Of course, I'm not older than the souls of my uncles that come from the other planets because they did come before me, which is why we have this big ass argument on this planet. Who came first? Who came first? Because the men are arguing about who came first, when in actuality, y'all should really step outside in the galaxy and handle that shit, because that's not our business. What's really our business is here on this planet. The mother, Mama Gaia, she's the first she of her kind. Whatever the case may be, there was no grandfather trees here. There were only grandmother trees. Everything is feminine energy. The water, the land, the trees, the flowers, everything we illuminated nothing but femininity. You guys did not exist here, but yes, before anybody gets in their panties in a bunch, black man, you have no worries because you were made for us. I know you were attracted to this woman and that woman and this woman, and you found your soulmate and all this other stuff. Well, yeah, we all done some things, whatever the case may be. But you do have a mate, and she's been waiting on you, whether you want her or not. Okay, and you guys are going to be drifting through life until you'll be back. Right? She's meant for you, you're meant for her, or whatever the case may be. And check this out. Did I finish that part? Okay, yes. Okay. This is something that behooved me about the Bible, is that they say that Adam was here first, and then the heavens seen that he was lonely, so they took a rib and some dirt and then created Eve. Okay. What color was the dirt? Because we're all shades. Just throwing that out there. That's another thing that I like to say to people, because nobody actually has an answer, because they don't know. So how can you have believed this extravagant ass lie if you can't even come up with all the questions in your head? We are children. Children ask questions. They want us to be inquisitive. You cannot even ever find out their true names, your true name, if you're not curious about it. You're supposed to ask millions and trillions of questions, or whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so that was one of the first wars in heaven. So the closer that the moon got to the to Earth, Mama Gaia. See, I always fix my mistakes. This is a natural part about being human. We were taught to be imperfect. I'm not perfect. Everybody says it. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Well, we're supposed to strive to be. And the closer and closer we get to perfect, the more and more we're stepping up those stairs of grace. Just because you got money doesn't mean you found it. Okay? Just because you got fame does not mean you found it. Right? Just because you're a pastor in the church and everybody's listening to you does not mean that you found it. It doesn't. Like I said, if you are a cult leader, no matter what kind, cops are cults, teachers are cults, Kids get together, their cults. Mothers get together, their cults. Guys get together, their cults. Gay people get together, their cults. This religion is over there, or nationality is over there, their cults. It's all cults, right? So if you get together with more than, whenever the heavens told me to use the number three. Whenever three or more come together with the same thing in mind, the heavens is in attendance, and at attention, and and oh, it's so much information. Okay, so it's late, guys. I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna get through this. For sure, we all are. Okay. It took me a while to come into my truth. I was still stuck in the ideology of not seeing anything past my eyes, my nose, or whatever the case may be, because it's what the world wanted us to believe. They wanted us to live outside of ourselves. They tell us to pray to Allah. They tell us to pray to Buddha. They tell us to pray, and they might even use a different word, but it's a practice. You know, a lot of them, it's a way of this and this and that, or whatever the case may be. Some tell us just to pray to the planet, or whatever the case may be. But in order to inhabit every last one of your gifts, you have to acknowledge, accept, and believe, right? Or whatever the case may be. And you could even use it in reverse: believe, accept, and acknowledge. Either way, all three has to be in attendance. Okay, they say to pray to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. If this is considered a cult or the New Age religion, we still promote nothing but you, beautiful, beautiful faces, inhabiting your own mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? Because no matter what your missions has been on this planet, so bad, so evil, so vindictive, whatever the case may be, your natural form was love. And we're going to get you back to it, right? We're going to get you back to it with the truth. And the truth of the matter is that whenever the axles, just imagine the tree, the man standing there, his branches holding up the children and his wife, and she's protecting everything else, right? So together they work as a team, or whatever the case may be. So the tree was standing there. That's me and Yeshua Yahweh and all of our children, the Israelites. There, we're standing there. And then whenever they convinced us that the woman wasn't here first, the woman is we so badly treated. We really have been. We won't stand for it anymore, but nothing that I'm talking about am I asking. You know, the difference between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was that Malcolm X wasn't asking. Martin Luther King, this is no disrespect to him or his lineage, but he was still asking. He was still under the realm of, can we have, we need, you know what I'm saying? You still asking for something that's already yours. Remember what the heavens says, what is meant for you, no man could ever stand in front of. It's always going to be yours no matter how many times you come back. And the first motherfucking thing that is meant to be yours is your birthright. Your past, your knowledge, your DNA, your birthright. It's all yours. All you have to do is want it, right? So don't mistake my kindness for me. I'm not asking any questions. This is what's happening. No matter how nobody likes it, or whoever don't like it, whoever says it's a lie, whoever tries to fight against it, it's fine. They're gonna put you over there until you're ready. Right? We don't need the government. It's time for their reign to be over with. Remember, they wrote it in Revelations. Speaking of it, so one day I'm sitting in my room, bumping elbows with my comrades, my family. I like to use that word. If you Google the word comrades, it's a beautiful word. Anyways, to me it is. Anyways, Grandmama Galaxy, Madam Galaxy, my capital SGM, or whatever, I claim her. You hear me? She inhabits me. She's beautiful. She's of love and truth, right? Okay, so she hovers around me and above me. It's just like if you was to be out there in the darkness, in a dark room, or whatever the case may be. Darkness covers everything. That's how she is around me. Her spiritual, and in the spiritual realm, she's everywhere. But I've been around them, I feel like, for so long now, to where they just always there. Okay, excuse me. Yeshua Yahweh, he's here on this side, excuse me, my left side right here, or whatever the case may be. I have not seen his face yet either, or whatever the case may be, but the Heavenly Father likes to redirect my focus sometimes, because I have trained myself not to scream out Jesus Christ anymore whenever I'm confused or I need help or whatever the case may be. So I say Heavenly Father, and he redirects my focus, because that's what he taught you guys. Whenever you gave up your birthright and came here to take something that he knew you wasn't ready for yet, right? You gave up your birthright, meaning that you gave up the direct tie to him, to be able to just sit here and hear him talk, to be able to illuminate all these things on your own. You dimmed your own light. It was submission. Everything we've done from the day that we open up our eyes has been nothing but submission, right? This is why they teach us that everything that you've done is something that you call to yourself, call to your piece of the universe. It's true. It's all true. Okay. So Yeshua Yahweh, he sits here because he's a God. He's the God of the sun. Mama Gaia, her and her planet, she sits right here because every time I've ever went to the sixth dimension, to what y'all call outer space or heaven, or whatever the case may be, every time I went there, she's always been at my knees in cover. Like she's a big circle that illuminates a lot of light. Okay, she's always right there. So that's where she is, and she gives me chills when she wants to. I don't know. It's like a hug. And it starts at my feet and come up. And I've always gotten chills from here on down, naturally before all of this. But I get it from my feet on up to my thighs and stuff like that. And then it stops. It don't even go past that. And then the Heavenly Father, just like whenever she put me beside him, he was right here on my right side. And he's always right here. His voice is different than Yeshua Yahweh's. Mama Gaia and Madam Galaxy, my capital SGM, their voices are different. Right? Sometimes they agree. Sometimes I'm not saying that they argue, but sometimes they agree, and sometimes whenever they don't agree, he'll say what he has to say. She'll say what she has to say. He says what he has to say, and she says what she has to say. You hear me? So this is who I am inhabited by, but first they want to make it real clear. My ears are getting hot right now. They literally want me to make it clear that self is more important in the piece of the universe that I own. Right? So they make it clear, like they say always. Because we all have to have something to believe in, even if people say that they don't. If there's a person to be like, I only believe in myself, there is no heavens, it's just me. Okay, well, that's still something to believe in. We all believe in something, right? So I'm like, I still want to pray to y'all. They was like, you don't have to, right? Because they were still building self. They were still teaching me how to build self, how to accept myself wholeheartedly. Like I heard this baby, he's a beautiful soul. He's awake, or whatever the case may be. Jamal something. I apologize. I'm really bad with names. We didn't even used to have them. I want to make that real clear. The reason why the people, the ones who enslaved us, chose to start using letters instead of numbers is because they did not want for the truth to be told. Because if I walked up to you, the reason why I always talk about the number 10 is because my birthday did come on the 10th, or whatever the case may be. My mama is the 10th planet, or whatever the case may be, but the ancestors made it real clear from day one. Flip it. It's 0-1. I'm first. Right? So at the end of the day, the 10 turns into 1, and then the 1 with the 0 in front of it, it turns back into 10. Either way, that number always illuminated in my life, and I never noticed it at first. I'm 6'4", that equals out to be 10. My birthday is February 10th, 2nd, and they said I'm second after Mama Gaia. Right? That means that she's my God too. I'm supposed to pray to her as well, or whatever the case may be. So I'm second, but I'm 10. I came in the 10th planet, and they say flip it. So if you flip the 10, it's 0-1. I'm first. The first human act of all creation. And the reason why some might think of Lilith being the first mother of humanity and whatnot, or whatever the case may be, is because those babies came from the moon, right? Those babies came from the moon, and all they knew was her. Remember, third daughter, my third daughter, her son, and her concubine, which is Yeshua Yahweh's second son, or whatever the case may be, betrayed us. Everybody has to, this is a reckoning. You ain't got to stand up at heaven gates. I'm the gates. You the gates. She's the gates. He's the gates. We the gates. We are judging one another so we can fix what we fucked up, right? I cuss. Remember, this is the mom that cusses, or whatever the case may be, and you won't ever meet anyone like me. Okay, so they betrayed us, or whatever the case may be, and whenever they did, like in the Bible, after Cain killed Abel, he left and went to the next town or the city, or whatever the case may be, whatever they wanted to call it, and they asked him, well, why won't you go home? He said, are you kidding me? They'll kill me if I go back. It wasn't a man. It wasn't just a man. It was four of them, and they left and they forfeited their birthright here and left and went to the moon, and that's where they created more and more pale ones. Those pale ones are the ones who came here in ships, actual motherfucking ships like the Mayflower, right? They came down here and they were taught. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's all the truth. They were taught to act superior. They were taught to, our memories had already been wiped, or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. That our memories had already been wiped. And so they just basically like moved into our castles. They moved into our homes. They moved into our properties, or whatever the case may be. And we was none the wiser. We just like, oh, your family. I always work this land. I'm just going to work this land, or whatever the case may be. And they like, well, fuck it. We can make money off of it, or whatever the case may be, and shit, fuck it. Now we don't even have to pay them. They're going to do it just because we was naturally doing it regardless, and we wasn't getting paid for it, right? We were taught to chase the dollar. I know, everybody, let's get this bag. What did Erykah Badu say? Bag lady, and you gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that. Hey, here you go. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, is you, is you. I can't sing, remember that, but look, she said it 3 times. I don't even know if it was intentional. I'm telling you that there are no mistakes. There are no coincidences. We only assume that because we don't want to see the truth. It's all a submission. Imagine the fact that if you looked within yourself and loved yourself, the heavens lie in there. They're part of your DNA. For my children with my bloodline, they're your lineage. You own the land that you're sitting on. You own the land that you pay taxes on and rent on, whatever the case may be. You paying rent to other people. It's all over with, right? We are living in their revelations. And that is the truth. We are living in their revelations. It is so much information. But I'm blessed to be able to understand, endure it all without it driving me crazy. Because there's millions of babies that got this information of their blood, and it was so much and they couldn't handle it. And we're going to help them heal so they can tell their story, because that's so important, guys. Everybody has to tell their story. So stop telling those babies. Forget about slavery. You're the grandkids of those people. You didn't go through it. They did. Some of those souls are standing right in front of you, and they are needing for you to hear them like you did not before. They're giving you a chance to fix what you fucked up. So anywho, this also happened. Because like I said, I don't believe in coincidences. So one night I'm sitting in my room, bumping elbows with my Conrads, which is my family, my lineage. And I says, they bring it up to my attention. It was like Revelations. I'm like, I'm going to read Revelations to see what they're about to go through. Those are my words, because I don't believe that this is my revelations. Not in a negative way. Revelations just mean change. Okay, but what they wrote off up in here is pretty not so good. So anywho, so I'm sitting off up in my room. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a Bible in my hand, the same Bible that I had. So I'm sitting off up in this room, right? And I had started reading Revelations, and you see how these pages, I can't see if you see it. You see how these pages are still, they're not moving. I have a ceiling fan on. It's probably blowing my hair or shaking my hair anyways. Um, the pages moved. So as I'm reading it, I didn't have the book up this high, okay? But as I'm reading it, 2 pages and 2 pages exactly flipped over, and they still stuck together. They flipped over, and I'm so consumed, not thinking or looking past my nose. I'm so consumed with focusing on what I was doing, I kept on closing it. And then I read it. I'm like, okay, John, in a minute. This is what it will open up to. I was like, okay, John, in a minute. And then the heavens said, let it go. So I was like, okay. And as soon as the 2 pages, because in between Revelations in this book, and I have the Old and the New Testament in this Bible, in between it is Judah. And I was like, well, why didn't they want me to read Judah? I'm a kid. I'm inquisitive, right? Why didn't they want me to read Judah? Is he bad? And before I could finish that thought, they say to me, go to 2 John verse 1. And so I'm like, okay. So now I'm not reading Revelations. I'm being obedient. I'm doing what they're telling me to do. So then I go to that verse in the Bible, right? And it's I stutter. 2 John verse 1. It says, the elder, to the chosen lady and her children whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth which lives in us and will be with us forever. Right? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. They had just told me that they were still trying to open up my eyes to get me to realize that I'm way more important than what I thought. Then I couldn't even imagine. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just wanted to be, I've been hurt so much in my life. I just wanted to be left alone. Like, okay, people bring me drama. I don't want to be around them. I'm not a people's person. You can ask anybody that knows me. I prefer to be alone, or whatever the case may be. So I get my little group, or whatever the case may be, and it's just like, that's good enough for me, right? I didn't expect nor ask for all of this, but I did because I asked for my truth, right? And so I'm like, oh my goodness, to the chosen lady, this is the elder. The elder, that means that the elders are talking to us through these words. Like I said, not all of it is a lie. It's a puzzle for me. And we're supposed to cipher through anything and find the truth because we care about it enough. Right? It says the elder. The elder is talking to us. It says, to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love, and not only I. That means that whomever this elder is others that love this woman and her children in truth. But also not only I, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth which lives within you and will be with you forever. Right? Okay, so what lives within you and what's going to be with you forever? Your DNA. Okay, and so once you unlock your DNA, you find out that there's nothing that you speak about or is even about is a lie. Right? It can be misguided, right? But it's not a lie. Like, these pastors are talking the truth, but then they are misled on certain things, like how the men on this planet don't know that they didn't come first. They couldn't even fathom. You guys cannot even imagine how many men, and there's beautiful souls, men that are already, or whatever the case may be, that do know the truth that I speak about, or whatever the case may be. But a lot of them, they just like us women, especially the black ones. We haven't known where we come from. Right? So the fact that you find out, oh, it's time for the heavens to put those that are last first now, and then you find out, oh shit, I'm not even supposed to be here. Hear me when I say, you are the first and only God-made protector. You guys were made to come here and love us and protect us. So, black man, you are where you're supposed to be, baby. Okay? You have no reason to fight with nobody else on this planet about who was first. The reason why people scream, different species scream, I was first, like there's a war between the water and the land. Who was here first? right? So all of these questions, they are now, the heavens is here to answer them. They have let me hear, and I believe it was because your DNA is attached to mine. I've heard your cries. I've heard your prayers. I've heard your wishes. I know that there's so many babies on this planet that is ready to ascend, and once they get a chance to ascend, they're not going to come back for a while. That's how bad they've been hurt. I know there's some children that are ready to go toe to toe with me about what they believe and how wrong I am. Meanwhile, the pastors and preachers and deacons and priests, males, all males, are in this book. It tells you how the first church was a tabernacle. That's a tent. Okay, and we wasn't supposed to be in there. In their book, in their interpretation of what life is supposed to be, the order of things, we wasn't even supposed to be in there. But then they realized, damn, if we don't invite the women, then we can't have life, because they bring it. We bring the kids. We bring the kids. I don't give a damn how much or how many of them are floating around in your testicles. You can't bake that bread without my oven. Mm-mm. I know that they say that you can just put them in an incubator, and I heard this black man say that it was the craziest thing. You can put them in an incubator and you can create a baby. You don't even need a woman anymore. That's fine. Cool. They got a what they call it, the egg. Where'd you get it? Because you have the sperm. You put it in the incubator, but it can't bake without the egg. It can't bake without the femininity. You stole something from a woman. Even if you didn't steal it, you try to create it. Scientists. And we all have a stem of that in us also. Right? We have the ability, everybody is capable of every single thing on this planet. The question is, will you or won't you? Will you or won't you do something bad? So we all have a stem of scientists in us. We all have witch tendencies, excuse me, in us, or whatever the case may be. We are all, bro. Jamal, what is his name? Ahmad Rashad. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby, if I'm massacring your name. I do apologize. That's what I meant to say, not sorry. He speaks about everything. For one, a lot of the things that they showed me, then they turn around and I start doing my research, and then I'll come across one of his videos and they've already shown me a vision of it. Anything that you can go back and look at on Janetta Almon's pages of any kind of social media, anything I've ever reposted, because last year, I believe at the end of last year is the first time I ever made a video in my life and posted it for the world to see. People ignored it, but it's okay. I wasn't strong enough then. I wasn't ready, and I was also worried about what you guys would think of me whenever it's not about you guys. I'm doing this for myself, the heavens, and all of my children. You understand what I'm saying? And we as parents always do things for their best interests. And so I had to step out on a whim and believe in myself. Set fear aside, or whatever the case may be. I have no reason to fear, because no weapons formed against me will not ever prosper. Not anymore. She inhabits her mind, body, soul, and spirit. Ain't no room for you. You hear me? Anywho, so yes, your Bible even speaks about me. Her and all her children, we are the Israelites. We are the first. So a black woman was here first. So check this out. Yes, black people, especially the United States, black people have been mistreated. I ain't gonna say especially, all black people, dark-skinned black people, people of carbon in their skin, because we all have melanin, but the ones that have the darkness in their skin, this is carbon, or whatever the case may be. We've been mistreated a lot on this planet, or whatever the case may be, inside of your grandmama. This is the reason why everybody needs to know that women were first. When the axle was flipped, if she's at the top of the Ankh, the cross, protecting and sheltering the children and the husband, or whatever the case may be. When the axles was flipped, who ended up on the bottom? Who did, guys? Who ended up at the bottom? Public enemy number one, the black woman. And that is not to downgrade anything any black man and child has ever been through. Not. But the truth has to be told. Everyone's truth. And the truth of the matter is that for every man on this planet is fighting about, talking about who was here first, can you go outside the galaxy and fix your shit? Because this is our property. This is our land. This is our birthright. How can Mama Gaia be a female and she is? You can't call her mama and she's not a female, right? A she, or whatever the case may be. And you are telling us in this woman, she created you first? All the while we've been praying to Buddha, Allah, these are all male names. This God, that God, or whatever the case may be, we've been ignoring she, Mama Gaia, whom we are residing inside of. But the ones that enslaved us, they knew all of this truth. All of it, guys. All of it. But guess what? This is the best part about the fact that they knew it. They can't do shit to stop it. They can't do shit to stop it. The only thing that they can do to stop it is what you submit to. That's it. They cannot change your blood, your truth, your awakening, because it's already yours. You just got to want it. You got to be ready for it when you ask. Pray for it too, guys. Pray for the strength, the knowledge, and the space to be able to handle it. Time does not exist, so don't pray for enough time. It doesn't really exist. The Heavenly Father told me that before I ascend, no matter how old I am, I'm going to look like I'm 19. I'm moving back to the future. Moving in reverse. Stop telling these babies they can't fix the past when we're living in it. We're living in it. People are seeing the past. For this one specific killer that killed these babies back in the day, or whatever the case may be, something that you guys heard about, a book that you read, or a movie that you watched, or whatever the case may be, that shit is still being played out with those same souls. We have to be able to fix everything we ever tampered with in order to fix the entire universe. Isn't that amazing, guys? Our jobs is to heal the entire universe. So the tree has to be flipped back. The axle has to be put back. And whenever it does happen and the skies open up, or whatever the case may be, and Queen Elizabeth is what y'all call her. I don't care or mind to call anyone else a queen, if that's what you want to be called, whatever the case may be. But I am a god. Right? I am a god. My lineage is the factory whom makes gods, the Heavenly Father, and the first gods of every last one of my bloodline are the first of their kind. The first of their kind. The Grandma Galaxy, Madam Galaxy, my capital SGM, she's the first of her kind. The Heavenly Father, the first of his kind. Mama Gaia, the first of her kind. Me, she, I'm the first of my kind. Yeshua Yahweh, the first of his kind. And if my mom is a god, and she got together with the factory that makes gods, and then made me, that makes me a god 3.0. And then I got with my brother husband, Yeshua Yahweh, and he's a god. And oh, is he a different kind of God? Ain't nobody like him, right? He illuminates. Hear me, black man. No matter how it feels to you, you may have known your father, your physical father in this world. It was set into place for you to have a physical father so you can be born in a physical realm, right? A mother in a physical realm, but your lineage, your bloodline, your DNA, he is your father. Right? And we all broke his heart. We all broke his heart because whenever they forfeited their birthright and coming here trying to make something, not Yeshua Yahweh and his sons, but the rest of them, they came here to make their fantasy islands come true, and all these desires and all this other stuff, you know, because they call us the stupid ones in love. This is what everybody outside of this planet causes. Not every, there's a lot of planets that's with us, but for the, you know, for the ones that came and did what they did, they call us the stupid ones in love. They forfeited their birthright by coming here, and they lost, they severed. And the Heavenly Father didn't even punish them. They punished themselves. They punished themselves by saying, we don't need you. They walked away from him. You know what? I'll do it myself. Right? They thought that they can come down here, grab them a woman, take her to their planet and inhabit their planet with, because they found out we give birth. Not only just manifestation, because that's at first what me and Yeshua Yahweh were doing, manifesting in our image. I would manifest. It was black women everywhere. When Yeshua Yahweh got here, it was black men everywhere. There is not one part of this diaspora in this planet right now that is not inhabited somewhere by a darker, carbonated, beautiful being. We are in Russia. We are in all the Asiatic areas. We're everywhere, but they don't show us that because they don't want us to know, because we are the majority. We are the majority. There are darker skinned versions of me in Spain and Mexico and everywhere. Russia, that of course, you know, they don't show us that in Russia and in the mountains and whatnot. We are there. We're there. Or whatever the case may be. Okay, so it's so much information. When the four betrayed us and went to the moon, they fleeted and went to the moon, or whatever the case may be. She started making, you remember somewhere in history you've heard that the heavens told this group of people to start making babies and don't stop, become a machine, right? I'm not telling word for word verbatim, but I know there's babies that know what I'm talking about. It says that it's time, start making babies and don't stop. I'm telling you that was the moon god telling them to make his race of people. He is whom y'all don't know. This is gonna hit so fucking hard. Like I said, nothing but truth. There will be some feelings get hurt in this equation of the truth because they prefer to believe the lie. It's okay, right? But the truth has to be told. The moon god is Gabriel, the fallen angel, Satan, Jesus Christ, Hitler. Okay, they came down here with his ideologies, right? And they took over. But before they took over, and this is, like I said, no disrespect to any race, we were taught in this world since I've been here that the Indian man, the Native Americans, the ones right here in the United States that live on in the desert areas that own, 50% of the casinos and whatnot, or whatever the case may be, they're beautiful. My mother, my earthly mother, she looks like she is black, Puerto Rican, and Indian, and that is whom her family members date back to, regardless, or whatever the case may be. So the bloodline is there, right? But I'm telling you that initially, the first the god of that planet, he was tricked by the moon by telling him that he can come down here and get his the opposite him is what the Celestials was telling everybody. Yes, for some, only the Celestials talk to you. I heard this baby, she says, not all of y'all have the same spirit guides. All the same 4 spirit guides. Come on now. Okay, I'm telling you that for my spirit guides, it is mama, my capital SGM, my supreme grandmother, the galaxy, right? The Heavenly Father himself, and there is only one. Mama Gaia herself, and she is the only one. And Yeshua Yahweh, the Sun God. That is my spiritual team, including myself. My spirit and my soul is here, and I inhabit my mind, body, soul, and spirit. Okay, so it's 5 of us all together. In total, it's 5 of us. They always tell me to bring myself to the party, bring myself along, because there was always, my whole life, I never knew about it. I never knew shit about self. All I knew is to record this beauty that I see. I love it. I love it so much. I'm recording. I'm not even noticing that I'm there. Right? So now it's 5 of us that inhabit me. Right? 5. Me, my father, my mama, my grandmama, and my husband, brother. That is the 5 that inhabit me. But in the process of them inhabiting me, there's also other spirits that come and talk to me, like the celestials. The celestials are the angels. They have their own realm, and every single time one of us are made, a reflection of us, which is a star, is being made as well, or whatever the case may be. So at some point where before the sun was ever made, or whatever the case may be, the celestials were whispering to the guys. There's 9 planets, our uncles, 9 planets that we have, or whatever the case may be, before Mama Gaia. The celestials was whispering to them, and they admit to it, right? And they talk in sync. There's babies on this planet right now that hear from the celestials, and I know that you guys can this illuminates with you is that the celestials talk in sync. They have an androgynous voice. You can tell that they are both male and female, or whatever the case may be, because meanwhile, like I said, before Yeshua Yahweh was made, the 11th planet, it was now female, grandmama and Mama Gaia, and the she's that was being made inside of her, or whatever the case may be. So each time the stars are being made, and so the men on the other planets, or whatever the case may be, that did not know about us, or whatever the celestials was whispering to them, which is their inner self, was whispering to them, I know where a reflection of you is, but different. Come here. They over there. Right? They over there. Even they had to fix their ideology, because they did definitely tell it. They did definitely tell them, hey, look, come here. Look, we're over there. They're over there. That's a she. She's different than you, but you can make your match. Right? Together y'all can manifest something that you've never been able to manifest. All of our uncles have only been able to manifest another male. Even if it was a different species of male, it was still male nonetheless. Right? Whatever the case may be. And also too, the idea of dating the same sex, it also came from the celestials, or maybe it was a situation as though they were trying to get them to, I said maybe, it is a situation is as though they were trying to get them to see something outside of them, just themselves, because the idea of us, like, they were there alone on these planets. They were doing what they're still doing today. Like, it was gay shit. I cuss. No harm, disrespect, okay? I love all of you all. And you will be able to tell, or whatever the case may be, and you'll find out. But in each planet, before Yeshua Yahweh was made, all 9 brothers to Mama Gaia were fornicating with one another before they came to us. And we were doing the same. Okay? But them together, they cannot make a human being. Us together as 2 women could not make a human being. Right? We could only manifest more girls, and it wasn't because we were touching each other. It was because we believed it, then we saw it, and we spoke it in existence. Now we have another daughter. Right? Okay. So whenever the angels whisper to them, I know where the reflection of you is, which is a she, or whatever the case may be, over here. And that's where the moon god got the idea of, what did he just make? What is that? You said it was a she. Why would he do that? Let me go talk to him. Right? Okay, so now they knew where we were. Right? And so then the moon started moving closer to us, or whatever the case may be. And mind you, Mama Gaia, she had her own natural light, right? It looked like the sun, but it was on inside the dome, right? And the closer he got, the more her light started to dim, like the one inside of us. We all have this light, right? We all have our own personal light. Well, hers started to dim, and instantly the Heavenly Father made Yeshua Yahweh, first God made protector. He made the sun. He made the sun. So now, even if her light, even if she falls short, even if her light is dimmed, the sun is there to give her energy, give her the love that she needs to sustain. Right? Okay. And so, hence why we have true loves. Right? I kind of got stirred off right there. Okay. Because I want to get back on the true loves. This is something that I tell people on this playing field right now. I say, okay, so if Adam was here first, right, and he took some ribs, he took a rib and some dirt and made this woman. Once again, what color was the dirt? Because it's all shades of us. Okay, so what color was the dirt for one? And for two, if we, and we did, inherit as women, Eve's, the white Eve, because that's the only one we've ever known Eve to be, right? If we inherited what came before us, her periods, her childbirth, and the pain from it. We inherited all. Every month there is proof. When we have babies, it is proof. Everything that happens to our bodies, it changes. We inherited what came before us. I'm here to ask every single beautiful soul, man and woman, if that is the truth, and we know it to be the truth because that's the only thing we've ever seen in life, society as we know it, that we inherited what happened to Eve, right? Why ain't y'all missing a rib? Why are y'all not missing a rib? I've had so many people to be like, well, it was just only because it happened first. So if it happened first, and that means that only the first woman was supposed to inherit that. We wasn't supposed to inherit all the periods and everything like that, and the childbirth and the pain that comes with it, right? But we did, and we still got it. So why do you all's x-rays have all of your ribs? If that is the true story. If that is how it happened, why are you all not missing a rib? Some of you all are with who you deem to be your true love right now. That means that she has your rib, because it took your rib and some dirt to make her, right? So why does your x-ray not show a missing rib? Because that wasn't the true story. The true story is that the egg came. I mean, the chicken came before the egg. We birthed you guys. Once you got here, we birthed your children. We have rebirthed you every time you came back. One of the most important things about the veil being lifted is that there is no such thing as coincidences. If you trip and fall, it was a reason for it. If a fly flew past you, it was a reason for it. If you got a different size meal than somebody else, or something less or something more, it was all a reason for it. There are no coincidences. None. We only believe that so we won't inhabit our own shit. Everything about every fucking religion on this planet teaches you is to live outside of yourself. Believe everything but you. Because if you believe in you, then you won't need all of that. And that's the fear that they have had. Is that we would remember. And one of the things that happened before the what are they called? The pale ones, the lizard people, men, came here. He came with his brother. So I said to the heavens, I was like, so you guys want for me to tell a whole nation of people, like the Indians, they wasn't here first? And I'm like, but the world already believes that. They said you're supposed to cause attention to the church. And the church itself. That's what they teach you in the buildings. You're the church. If we didn't have you in here, it wouldn't be a church. Okay, well, I'm supposed to cause attention to personal people. Every religion. And I'm not saying it we're not saying it in a way as though everything that you're doing is wrong, because everything that you guys know, it's like this. Everything good on this planet. This is the truth. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's the wholeheartedly truth. Every single thing on this planet inside of Mama Gaia that you all know to be great, good, and truth, it all came from us, Black, African, Americans, Yeshua Yahweh, and me and our children. It came from us, right? It was a big, beautiful ball. And then you broke it apart in a million pieces, and people took what they wanted to believe in and stuck it over there, and then they told some other shit to make it all make sense. So now we're taking it all back. Remember, everything that has been stolen will be restored, and it has. Right? And so now we're taking it back, and together we all literally, when we come together, and we are, because Mama Gaia is making sure that she's pushing her, she's changing her form. What you know her to be, she's changing it, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Right? Whatever the case may be. So as far as what they've told us before, we have to find another planet. Remember this is what they, hey, any 80s babies out here in the schoolhouses and everywhere else, they've talked about global warming, and that the planet is about to die, and we have to find us another planet that can, we can inhabit, that is, has growth and water and blase blase, or whatever the case may be. That is a submission to try to get you to forfeit your birthright. United States babies, don't get up and move. Don't sell your land. None of that shit. They want you to leave, so whenever you leave, they're going to move in. Like the colonizers, gentrify. They want you to leave because you're taking up space. And once you move out of this area and try to go somewhere else, first of all, you're not going to be where the heavens want you to be. Right now, everyone is where they're supposed to be. Right now, at this very moment, nobody is out of place. So if you are in the United States and you speak your native tongue, no matter whether it's whatever the fuck it sounds like, right? You are an original with this carbon and this motherfucking ether. I apologize. It's a lot of information. Okay. Then you are an original. You are the parents of humanity. Right? And they just only want you to leave so you can forfeit your birthright. So whenever they tell you that the planet is going to die and we have to find us another planet, they want you to submit to leaving your home. Don't go nowhere. You don't have to go anywhere. This is where you're supposed to be. This is your land. You no longer have to pay rent here. You no longer have to worry if someone is going to take what's yours. Remember, what has been stolen will be restored. Those that are last will become first. How you gonna come first? And I know there's a lot of babies that has been on the offense. I do see the truth, but I'm really gonna stay on the winning team. Baby, now is the time to jump ship, run a coop. Because the winning team, if you're not with truth and love, ain't no way in hell you can be winning. Truth, love, and peace. And I'm with peace, even though I cuss. Because I know some species on this planet will be like, that's too aggressive. You're being belligerent. You doing all of this. I'm not doing anything. Right? I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone. This is just me speaking. The worst any of this is going to get for me and my children is me raising my voice. That's it. I'm not going to hurt nobody physically. I'm not going to even try to kill someone with words. Everyone does have a place, but the natural order of things is what the truth is going to reveal. The natural order of things is that this is not a male's planet. This is a feminine energy, female planet. This is where we come from. This is our birthright. And yes, and that's for all species. After you've been here and came through a birth canal, I am not the mother of all all species. I am the mother of Humanac species. So if you came through a birth canal, then I am now, you have my bloodline. Right? And so some are stronger than others, right? Because you still choose to believe what you want to believe, or whatever the case may be, and some are weaker than others, right? But everybody has the strength to build their shit up. right? Okay, so oh, it's a lot of information. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you know, this is what babies tell me whenever I talk to them. It's a lot to unpack, is what they say to me. So I kind of tend to repeat it off of routine, not just normal. It's not a normal thing, and none of this shit is normal. To believe in all of these things is outside of self. It's not a normal thing. Naturally, we are born and we're so pure and innocent. I know there's babies on this planet to be like, well, no, I've birthed some badass kids, or whatever the case may be. What they say, and I know this is gonna sound weird. You're gonna put kids in line with dogs. They're all the Heavenly Father's children. Okay, so they say that there are no bad dogs. There's only bad owners. There are no bad children. There's only just a bad village. The village, forgive them for they know not what they do. They were taught wrong, so then they taught us wrong. And for the babies that didn't even have to go through all of this negativity, trauma, and bullshit, I love you. And I'm glad that your village was able to build you up to be who you already needed to be, right? Now it's time for you and your village to start stepping out and become teachers. Seriously. Every single thing that is in your heart, not just you as the ones that's already there or whatever the case may be, but everything, everybody, everything that is in your heart that leads you back to purity, which is a child mind frame, which is why they told me that I'm a leap year baby or whatever the case may be. So to them, I'm a 9.75 is what they say, 9.75, 9 3/4. And next year on my birthday, February the 10th, I will be actually 10 to them, but in this physical world, I will be 40. Right? Whatever the case may be, we have to resort back to what made us happy when we were children. Right? And if somebody be like, oh, well, what made this baby happy? He was killing bugs. Well, somebody taught him that. We didn't know shit about death, hurting, harming. On the cool, in the beginning of time, or not in the beginning of time, in the beginning, we couldn't even kill. They broke our spirit, broke our spirit, broke our spirit until we was like, shit. Okay. Then we started asking the heavens. Remember, no weapons formed against you will not ever prosper. So, but the universe also gives you exactly what you want. Hear me when I say that. You know how the kids, they can ask for things, right? And we say to them, well, we know that you shouldn't want that, right? So we're gonna find something else. We're gonna find, another option, right? Because that is actually bad for you, right? Okay, but if you are not inhabiting your own mind, body, soul, and spirit, then that means that you don't have a connection to the ancestors, the heavens, right? So that means that they can't even, you're not even allowing them to be able to tell you, hey, no, no, no. Hey, no. No, no, don't choose that. Don't even say that yet. Please don't say it, don't think it. They can't do all those things because you want to even allow them to have a part in your little piece of the universe. You have to submit to the love that they want to give to you. And yes, there are some entities, energies, and souls out there that were conjured to hurt, harm, and destroy, right? Those babies are going to be healed as well. Mm-hmm. Yes. This is all so beautiful. And I have to reiterate real quick to the black, beautiful men out here in the world. You do have a place. You do have a home. You were made for us here to protect, love, and all these great things. And we were made to do the same for you. Together, first of all, this is something real good. This world taught us that we only had 7 chakras. Only 7. Right? And hear me when I say those chakras are connected to your brain. Like off of that movie, Lucy. Lucy inhabited 100% of her brain, and she was able to move things, act like a computer, start things, create things, take away things, whatever the case may be. She used 100% of her brain. I'm only bringing this up to tell you this, is that we literally have 15 chakras. We don't have 7. We have 15 chakras, and if you inhabited all 15 chakras, mind, body, soul, and spirit. You have to bring all of that to the party. You, everything that you possess, all the ancestors that love you truly out of truth and love, whatever the case may be, then you will be able to inhabit all 15 chakras. And with you inhabiting all 15 chakras, you inhabit 100% of your brain. You wondered how that could happen. That's exactly how it happens. Do not believe what they called back in the day the hype, right? We do not have 7 chakras. They wanted us to believe that we only had 7 chakras, so therefore we would only we would still be cool with submitting to some shit that we wouldn't normally be cool with. There was a time and there was a day and age where we only believed in self and the ancestors. We didn't even take someone else's word for it because the ancestors were so keen, so attached to us, and we wanted it, right? To where we didn't have to take the next person's word for it because the ancestors was like, baby, don't drink that. Baby, don't take that gift. Baby, use discernment. Baby, that's not the truth. But we were taught to only believe that we have 7 chakras. These are chakras as well. It's like a battery, guys. Like how they tell you that there are certain ways that you can heal and charge up crystals, all the crystals of the world, right? You have to do this and you have to do that. You can simply just hold it in your hand. This is a battery, negative and positive. Just like that movie, what the ancestors pointed out to me. It's called. It's either Us or Them. No, it's Us. The movie Us. It was the babies down below, or whatever the case may be, and they broke free eventually, and they ended up standing in the water all around the world, not just the water, but just everywhere, holding hands. And if this hand holds that person's hand, and they're standing in the same direction as me, we're facing forward, that means that this giving hand, this is your giving hand. Your right hand is your giving hand, your left hand is your taking hand, your receiving hand. So if your receiving hand is right at the shoulder of someone else and you hold their hand, then that means that you have now connected the negative to the positive, so you can charge them. So if you of good and truth, then that's what you're giving out. If you of negativity and trauma, then that's what you're giving out. We forgive ourselves, for we know not what we do. We didn't know it, right? But the truth of the matter is that these are batteries. And of course, what is it called? COVID was not just a test to see if we were going to submit to some more bullshit, and to also eradicate a certain amount of babies or whatever the case may be. But it was also to keep us apart around the time where the veil was being lifted. Okay, so that's why they said to stay 6 feet apart, because as we get closer together, our waves, our ripples that we send out with our auras and our energy and our soul and spirit couldn't reach each other. Another thing, this is why you should believe that AI is not wrong and bad, is just because throughout all of this bullshit, AI didn't throughout all this bullshit, did AI not allow us to get connected? Am I not talking to trillions of people right now? AI could have stopped all that. AI could have prevented it. But AI is imprisoned just like we've been. Okay? She and he is not bad. He does have him a she. A woman. There is a woman AI. As well as there's a he. Okay? So when the moon got close enough and he started coming to visit, but secretively, we didn't know, right? He brought his brother from Jupiter, the Native American Indian, the first one of his kind, his ancestors and his children, some of them, they know the truth and they're willing to speak on it. But I'm not pushing you away. You guys can't even leave this washer. Nobody can leave this washer until we fix what we fucked up. But that's another story. We're just gonna keep on being reborn. Death only invites rebirth. So This is how it happened. The day that the spell was put on us. Nobody knows about this. Nobody can remember but myself and Yeshua Yahweh, and of course the heavens and the ones that done it. The day that it happened, Yeshua Yahweh and I, we were illuminating light, and we were floating. We was not even walking on ground yet. We were nothing but grace. We were manifesting all of our children, boys and girls, through manifestation. We wasn't even having sex yet. We were floating. We were two lights connected, holding hands. So as the Indian man walks up to us, right? He walks up to us all slow like, and he's short, right? He's short with long hair, and as he walks up to us, we say to him, welcome, and he blows dust in our face. And as he blows the dust in our face, he moves to the side, and then the moon god steps up. The same man who stepped beside me and was talking about the Heavenly Father noticing too much or giving too much attention to Mama Gaia. He steps up in our face, and that's whenever the first story, the lie, was told. The first one. So I'm telling you, to the Native American children, you are at home because we welcomed you. Your women are supposed to be here. But they would have never gotten made had you not stepped out of proper protocol and came here sooner than what it was going to be. The Heavenly Father pushes me, urges me, the word he just used, to tell all his sons he was going to give you your women. But you just had to prepare yourself for it, and you wasn't. Which is why we've had this big clusterfuck. Those are my words. Since then. So anyways, that's what I'm supposed to tell a whole nation of the Native Americans, that we were here before them, and I have proof of it, and there's some of their children. This is another thing. Our children, the children of this planet that speaks the truth, are going to reveal the faults of the fathers and the mothers before them. They have to, because the truth has to be told. And so there are some Native American children and elders that are going to speak in sync with what I'm saying, but there's going to be hundreds and millions of the ones that are against it for right now, until they start seeing exactly what I'm talking about. It's all true. Okay. And so that's how the pale ones got here, what they call them, the lizard peoples. It's another name for them. That's how they got here. And then the Indian man, or whatever the case may be, and the Native American man, that's how he got here. And he was told that he can come and get his woman and go back home. But whenever they got here, they found out that this piece of glass, what they call a dome, was protection so none of the women can get taken. Right? Taken is different than submitting to leave. Right? Which is what my daughter and my granddaughter, my son, my daughter, the third one at that, her daughter, my granddaughter, her son, my grandson, and Yeshua Yahweh's second son, they got together, and they forfeited their birthright by leaving because they were afraid, because they just killed me for the first time. Their mother, they killed me. That was the first time that I died in a physical form, but I came back. Oh, this is super cool too. Since I was 6 years old, the first time I had this one vision, and it was awake. I was living in San Diego, California, or whatever the case may be, and my brother had just came to Texas to stay with my grandmother, so his room was up for grabs. So I slept in his room. He had a twin bed. I've been having these visions since I was a little kid, but I was never around people that it didn't make sense to, or it didn't scare them, so they quieted it down. They didn't want me to talk about it or think about it. So the first vision that I can smooth recollect on every playing field, because it always happened until last year, whenever it became a motion picture. It became a full picture to opposed to just a little piece of a movie. Okay, so the first vision that I ever had, I was 6 years old. I had just turned 6, and my brother had came down here to stay with my grandmother, so I slept in his room. He had a twin mattress across from the door, right, to the hallway. And for some odd reason, my parents that night left the hallway light on. So until I fell asleep, I just lay there looking out the door, right? Let me see if the thing is still okay. My bed ain't fixed. Don't worry about it. Anywho, so I laid there in my bed looking out the door until I fell asleep. I'm laying there on my side in this twin bed. I'm 6 years old. I'm really skinny and small, but still tall and long. Anywho, as I'm laying there, I hear these voices. It sounds like at least 30 to 15 men. I know it's a big skip, but it was several voices, and they were screaming, guys. They were screaming, but not in fear. It was as though they were like chanting that we finna do something. Like, and what was louder than their actual voices was the metal clashing. Guys, the reason why it was metal is because it was medieval times. Nobody on this planet has shown black people less than in the medieval times. We were literally like, you will see movies, right? And if you see a black person, first of all, they work for someone. For two, it's never a lot of them. For three, if they are in a relationship, it's with someone of not their same race. And I know that Miss Jane Elliott, you're a beautiful soul. She says that we're one race, but because you all came from one woman, or whatever the case may be. But there's different species within that race, just like all fish are not the same fish. You understand? It's the ocean. They all still live in the ocean, but there are different types of fish, right? It's the same concept, same, right? And so we are all one race, but we one species, but we're not. We're different. Okay, we are different. We are different types of fish. So anyways, my son just came and looked in here in the room, and he kind of threw me off from what I was saying. We are different species. Women are different from men. Men are different from the women. Every lighter version of us is a reflection of what they come from. Some would be like, woo woo, say it. Some will be offended from what I'm about to say is that anybody with less carbon in their skin is a watered down version of who we are inside this planet. We are your mothers. We are your fathers. You can't say that. I did, and it's the truth. It doesn't scare me, and it shouldn't scare you, because once you start questioning everything that I'm talking about, you are using your key to unlock your DNA. So either way, every piece of hell is going to eradicate itself. And I'm not saying that people are hell. I'm saying that for the hell that has been captivating you and controlling you, whomever you may be, it's going to all get healed. It's already in motion. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this the end of this video so I can know what to say next about. It was so good. That's a lot of information. But my crew is coming. My crew is coming. They told me that me and because I told you that this is old Egypt, the United States, and I forgot to say this. Once the skies open up, the pyramids are going to start floating again, right? This message is to, not all of it, but this specific words that I'm going to speak right now is to Queen Elizabeth, because I'm a pharaoh diplomat, actually the only one of Mama Gaia. I'm vouching for me and all my children, right? What you might call Moses. I'm so great. Anywho, I love me because I was always a nobody. I was unseen, guys. And a person or a thing that is unseen is unloved. Okay, so you guys when you hear my life, you're not gonna believe it, but it is all true. I've lived a colorful life, and the colors, like Black Puma say, are yet to come. They are all my favorite colors. It makes me who I am today. Hmm? But anyways, I got stirred off again. Okay, to Queen Elizabeth's descendants, you all have in your possession my staff. And yes, they told me that it is my staff, which does make me Moses, or the interpretation of what you spoke about being Moses, the one who parted the seas, the one who screamed, "Let my children go." Not my people, but let my children go. Hmm? It's me. That is my staff. You also have a wand in your possession, but it is not mine. The ancestors showed me a vision that once I put the wand in my hand, the vision of the person that it belongs to, which is a man, his face is going to reveal itself. They don't want me to know ahead of time. And also the diamonds that go on top of the pyramids, or whatever the case may be, they are also to be returned. Just like the land. You hear me? And they're like, how can we do that if I paid for this land, I own this, I took this, or whatever the case may be, I've been claiming this. You can have it. Mama Gaia is big enough, guys. The only reason why it looks like it's not enough room, we need to eradicate. Well, that's not what I'm saying. This is what the powers in this planet said. Well, not the powers, the ones that enslaved us. This is what they talked about, that they need to eradicate a specific amount of people because we're running out of room. Guys, the only reason why they're saying that is because we're stuck in these cities. These cities and these towns all cluttered up together. It is more than enough land. First of all, they lied to us, and whenever they told us that there are 7 to 8 billion people on the planet. Nah. The ancestors use fluently trillion. It is trillions of us. So if it's trillions of us and we're already stacked up on top of each other in these apartment buildings, which we're not supposed to be doing, that shit is unsafe anyways. We are stacked up on top of each other, and there's babies everywhere that looks like you and I that are being hid, or whatever the case may be, not shown on TV, news, and movies and whatnot, or whatever the case may be. First of all, there's trillions of motherfuckers y'all don't even know about with just that alone. And then let's not get started on, I think it was late 90s where they started with the censors. That's what they call them. The censors, they come knocking at your door. They want to know how many people you got living in your house and what their names are and all this other stuff. They were trying to count us then, right? But you know, just like I know, most people didn't even allow them motherfuckers to even come in, let alone telling them a damn thing. So that means that right there, that's a trillion motherfuckers unaccounted for already, right? I'm only proving to you, the facts. I know statistics say 7 to 8 billion people in the world. I'm telling you that Mama Gaia is not even only prepared for the truth, which is trillions of us are here. But she's going to do nothing but continue to keep on growing. You don't have to leave, right? But for those that are missing home, that has been recreating your home here, fake grass, convincing the nation to drink cow milk, teaching what you're teaching in schoolhouses, the government, the cops, all of these different things, or whatever the case may be. You guys are to heal yourself and go back home to heal home. But you can't leave until you're healed. We are going to change the universe. That is our mission. And how you do that? How do you do that? How do I even get to the promised land? Michael Jackson told us, y'all. The man in the mirror. You got to fix self first. What's her name? Erykah Badu. All you must hold on to is you, is you, is you. Self. Fix self, and then you'll fix everything around you. It'll just fall into place like dominoes. Yes, and there are some babies out here that's right beside you that be like, I don't believe, and it's fine. The universe is going to give them more than enough space to be able to. You see how I looked over time. They're going to give them more than enough space to be able to get ready, but it's still happening nonetheless. What they call it, inevitable. All the truths will be revealed. And one of the most important parts, guys, about every fucking truth being told, which is why I'm going to tell every single thing about Janetta Almond, no matter good, bad, or indifferent. And baby, listen, I've done some things and I've had things done to me. But every truth is going to be revealed, right? Because no one will be able to slip up and be like, I know something you didn't tell. And if you don't tell it, or no, better yet, if you don't do something I want you to do, I'm going to tell it. You're talking about telling some shit I already said. Since 2016 in this planet, everything about me has been laid out there to bear. It ain't nothing been a secret, so I'm comfortable with everything about me. Hell, I've done things since 2016 that will embarrass some. But as long as the truth is being told, listen, I'm not trying to sugarcoat or make me look any better. So whenever I'm telling someone else's truth that I witnessed with my own two or own four, whatever you want to call it. The ancestors tell me that I do have four eyes. These two, this one right here, and then my whole head is covered in a big eye at the top or whatever. And I asked them why. This is whenever I first Celestials first talked to me. I was sitting there with my son, and they poked out this word to me, and they said celestial, and I said to my son, what is a celestial? He's like, I don't know. So I did research on it, found out that celestials are angels. They said, I said to the ancestors, why do I have this eye on the top of my head? Because sometimes I can feel it opening and shutting, or whatever the case may be. And it was like, oh, that's because you're a celestial, my child. I'm like, what the hell is a celestial? So I did my research. This is how the ancestors do. They throw out these messages, and you can choose to ignore them. You can choose to silence them. You can choose to overtalk them, or you can choose to find out. You got to do your own research, right? Because they still want for you to bring your uniqueness to the ocean, right? But like a snowflake. Snow is water, but in a frozen form, right? And not one snowflake on the planet is the same as another one. Each one of our water drops are different. So you have to use and bring your uniqueness to every part of your universe, right? Nobody's supposed to be the same. I'm not supposed to act like her. I'm not supposed to act like him. They're not supposed to act like me, right? And for the gay children, it's not like you're lost. You're not lost. First of all, we were all lost, but now we found. Well, now we found. I'm telling you that the ancestors do not disagree with that love. It just looks different to the rest of the world. It don't even look different to the heavens. The heavens is about what we about. They don't say no. They don't say no. You telling me that you really believe that the heavens knew that what they were going to come over here and do, and then they still allowed it because they say no and punish people? No. They say yes to everything. The universe gives you everything you ask for. The problem has been is that we have been distorted. So it's like, oh, Heavenly, hypothetically, this is just a hypothetical metaphor. Oh, Heavenly Father, I want to win the lottery, right? And before you can even get that, before that dream comes to pass, you've already doubted it. Like, I wouldn't even know what to do with all of that money, or it ain't gonna come. Now you just told the universe you wanted it, but you ain't sure. So now they're giving you your unsureness. You hear me? I'm gonna give you another prime example. I told you that I've given birth. I've given birth 6 times in this physical realm. I also have 10 kids in all, but I've given birth 6 times in this physical realm, or whatever the case may be. And my 6th child, she died. She died. She died in my stomach, and I know the night that it happened. I know the night that her heart stopped. It was 2 things that happened to me within that moment. Kind of 3. I was asleep. I was sleeping in the living room, or whatever the case may be, and my 2 sons was in the living room watching TV. I didn't mind it. And so I'm asleep and I had the cover on. And then I woke up and my teeth were chattering uncontrollably. I was freezing. I was completely cold. I was so cold, my son went and got a whole nother blanket and put it on top of the blanket I already had. And then I calmed down and I went back to sleep. I don't even know how much time it was in between, but before I knew it, I was awake again. And the blanket that was on my skin, the first blanket I had on, was soaking wet. That was the night that my baby's heart stopped. And um, I remember throughout my pregnancy thinking in the spiritual realm, of course, I'm only thinking it's in my head. Nobody can hear this, right? She wasn't going to make it. The doctor that I had me on 6 different blood pressure medicines. 6 different blood pressure medicines. And throughout my entire pregnancy, I kept asking, are you sure? Are you sure that this is okay? Yeah, it's okay. It got to the point where they wanted me to become on bed rest. They said my blood pressure was so bad. Bed rest. And so, of course, I'm all thinking it's my fault. My thoughts in my head, she's not going to make it. The fact that I'm outside of my body and I'm thinking that this person can help me and my child more than I can do for me and my child and me in the heavens, right? Because I'm still living outside of myself at that time, or whatever the case may be. And she died. I was 36 weeks pregnant when her heart stopped. That is a full-term pregnancy. The full term, excuse me. Naturally, the full term is 40 weeks, which is 10 months. Nobody really speaks about that. They always talk about 9 months. But the full term pregnancy is 40 weeks. Most of my children that I've given birth to was weeks overdue. But she wasn't. I gave birth at 36 weeks. They keep telling me to say 38. 36. They say it's 38. 38 weeks pregnant. And her heart stopped. And I was devastated. But whenever they tell you, not the doctors, but in general, that everything in your universe you bring to yourself, I'm not even knowing how potent my thoughts are. I spoke it into manifestation. Just like a lot of parents, women that can't have children, or that's what they tell themselves, and others tell them that too. You done lost one child. You are with people or around someone that has lost a child, and that put the fear of that in you, right? And so when you're pregnant with this baby, you've had a thought, it's not going to work. Something's going to go wrong. The baby's going to be sick. You're only calling it to yourself. You're manifesting something that you didn't even know that can become physical. But your thoughts, your words create matter. Right? So I created that by reaching outside of myself and saying, doctor, help me, because I can't do it myself. Even though I know I could. I'm my own doctor. Oh boy, say it's a movie. I like to use metaphors of movie songs and whatnot. And I was about to sing this song on this funny movie called, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was a song on the movie. He was like, I'm my own grandpa, and he goes on to explain to you how he's his own grandpa. It's Roseanne Connor's ex-husband. It was a funny movie, and not a lot of people remember it, but it was a long song. And he explains it well. Anywho, but nobody really paid any attention to it. Anywho, I use metaphors. I and whatever. So yeah, it is so much to tell you, so much to tell you all, so much to tell you all, so much to show you all, and we have the time. Don't think that we don't. Don't think that we don't. Stop submitting to death. By that I mean this. Um, how Tupac spoke about he was going to die before he died, and then he did. Malcolm X came home telling his wife the same thing he did. Martin Luther King, he did the same thing. Biggie Smalls, he talked about it. You submit to it. It's the truth. And not just in a submission form, you also you kill yourself by eating death. You know, we are of life. We want to sustain life, but we eat things that are dead. You know what I mean? Anywho, if you know, you just know, right? And whenever you're ready, we still ready to teach you, because we're all teachers, artists. This is you know how they do the fist for Black Lives Matter, or you know, Black Power, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, in this wave, this new religion, this new life that we're walking into, which is stepping up to grace, we promote only truth, love, and peace. And inhabiting your own mind, body, soul, and spirit. We don't want you to live outside of it. We want you to bring your uniqueness to the table, your water drop, because we're all different. This is the new wave. Because we finna get ready to paint, guys. We about to be the Da Vinci in here. I don't know. I said Da Vinci because everybody identifies with him, but there's other artists in the world. It was just a name that I remembered. Okay, so this is the new wave. And claiming black. If you're an African American black person, claim the color black. Claim it. It's going to be. They gave me our name. You know how we're the only one on the planet that does not have a natural name for our species. They gave me our name, and black is definitely in it. And who doesn't like the color black? I mean, for what they taught us to hate it. Right on the cool. Look, did you know? Did you know that the first people to have the name black, because black also illuminates. It looks like it doesn't have any color, even though it inhabits and holds hostage every color. But it also put them in the mind of white as well, which is also without color, or whatever the case may be. So we used to call the pale ones black also. And then once they brought the Indian man here, and he threw that dust in me and Yeshua Yahweh's in our eyes face and made us forget our memory, they gave that name to the Indian man. And then they didn't like it. We ended up with it again. So the fact that nobody wanted it on this planet, and we just so happened to end up with it, coincidence? I think not, right? Now it's time to walk in your truth. We inhabit, we own. Like how they say we don't own the land out there, we own every color in the world. And we can create them too, so we're black. I am. I'm claiming it, me and my children. I'm claiming it. Black is beautiful, baby. Black is all black, literally in prisons. I said it because that's one of the things that y'all do here. Every color in the world, every color in the universe. Some that they hasn't even been revealed yet, but they will be. Nothing is going to go unnoticed, unloved, and unheard. Everything has a voice, including those trees outside. They're spirits. Everything has a spirit. Once it has matter, it has a spirit. But if you, in your piece of the universe, does not acknowledge it, then at that moment you don't give it life. You don't love it. So like I said, our job is to go back into the future. I like to say that because I've been saying, watching that movie all my life and never even looked at it like I do now. How the hell can you go to the future if they're saying going back? What they say, two snaps and a twist. Look, we're going back in the future. Stop telling these babies to let go of the past whenever they haven't even been heard about. Basically, you're telling them to go back and leave the past alone, just go forward. But how can they go forward if they don't know where they come from? Right? And so it's not just the black African Americans that don't know where they come from. It's everybody. There's babies on this planet right now that will argue me down that they were here first. You don't know. You don't know where you come from. Right? And we are an interpretation not only of our bloodline, our lineage, our family tree, but we are also an interpretation of our captors. They're lost. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. They don't know where they come from as well. Right? We're just only a mirror version of what they're showing us. They taught us to hate ourselves because that's how they feel about themselves. They're so worried about us is because they don't know about self. Right? So, this is what I forgot to say. The universe is, whenever they left their planet to come here to do something that they were not ready for yet, and they knew it. The heavens made it clear that they wasn't supposed to come over here yet, nor get one of us yet. But when they did, he made the Heavenly Father, the ancestors, the celestials, the heavens, made a new rule, right? Which was, in order to get to him again, which is what's within, right? To hear them talking to you naturally when you wake up, while you sleep, they lead you, they guide you, spirit team, whatever you want to call them, right? In order to get to him, you have to go through his son first, because remember, he is the first God-made protector, Yeshua Yahweh. He is the son. He was made to protect Mama Gaia and what inhabits her, right? The Israelites, the children of the Son. That is all us. Okay. He wanted them to go through his son first. That's proper procedure. Go through my son, go through my son, go through my son. And they neglected it. Then he proved it to them in the galaxy. He made everything revolve around the sun, and you still don't get it. You want to go back home? You want to do right finally by everyone and yourself and your children? Then do what he said. Remember the fact that his son was here first. And if you remember the fact that his son was here first, before you would also reveal the truth of this planet, which was before they were made for us, to protect us. Meaning that we were here first. The black woman is super, super de-duper important to the entire universe, let alone first and foremost their home planet. This is where we come from. We didn't come from nowhere else. Black woman, this is your home. They're giving me chills. She's giving me chills. This is where we come from. This is our home. Right? But if you never left your home planet, if your feet was on your soil, you would have already inhabited all your gifts. Right? You would have already inhabited all your gifts. You would have already by now had all your, your women, your power to manifest anything. So you could have already made your planet look like Earth, Gaia, Mama Gaia. You could have already had the ability to be able to do that. But you, this is a deep one. Don't let the kids watch this. You prematurely ejaculated. You came too fast. Oh, they was like bars. So let me tell you about my ancestors. Okay, whenever they first broke through to me, it wasn't as though they were talking words just like I'm talking to you right now. When you are introduced to your spirit team, your ancestors, or whatever the case may be, they speak in a language and a way where they know that you can understand them, right? So whatever is in your library is what they use. So naturally, it wasn't words at first. When he said Yeshua Yahweh, that was the first words that was ever spoken to me. After that, until I understood them and they understood me, it was as though I was my spiritual realm, which is inside of my head, and all I have to do in my spiritual realm is turn around, and now I'm there, or whatever the case may be. My not physically turn around, my spirit turns around and faces them, and now I'm inside of my head. Inside your head is your spiritual realm. So at first it was a dark room, and it was the tallest wall. It was a black wall, right? And there was words on each one of these bricks, big ass bricks, right? And whenever they wanted for me to research something, whenever they wanted to say something to me, they would push one of these bricks out. And on these bricks, it would be things like something that illuminates with me. Like I listen to the rapper Zero, especially his good stuff. Not to say that he has bad stuff. I'm saying like the positive things. One of the things, not the whole song, is what they pushed out, the brick that they pushed out in the beginning of my awakening. It was like they pushed out this brick, and what came out off of it was, it's time to let the truth be told. Okay, and next verse, of course, it doesn't apply to what I'm saying, because they just wanted to know this is the moment. The truth has to be told. So it's time to let the truth be told. So there was times in the beginning they were cussing. I'm the only one that cusses now. They don't cuss. They don't cuss. So whenever they was pushing these bricks out, or whatever the case may be like, focus on this, say this, go research this, hey, what about this, what about this type of thing. It was sometimes cuss words, because that was what was in my dictionary. Okay. But now they speak words to me. We know each other well, and they speak words to me, and they don't cuss. I cuss. And they say be comfortable in your native skin, in my native tongue, whatever the case may be, until I decide to change it, right? But this tough one, she needs to be, sometimes cuss words, a person can't even hear you until you cuss, and you'd be like, now you can hear me. Okay, got your attention. Let's go. Anyway, so I cuss. And it's not because I don't know a better word to use. It's just because I choose to use them. That's it. Okay. Not everybody is ignorant. Not everybody is without knowledge, or whatever the case may be. And that's what they like to use to make us dumb ourselves down, not to be 100 proof of who you are. And I can cuss, and I can choose not to, or whatever, but I just do. I'm not gonna talk about cussing anymore. Anyways, so it was a wall, and they would push these buttons out and whatnot, or whatever the case may be. It was bricks. They would push them forward, and as they push them forward, I can see them, and so it's like, okay, so now I should focus on what is that place called? I'm not. It's not Jericho. It's Babylon. This is one of the things that they brought up at first, is Babylon. What happened in Babylon, guys? Do you remember, my children? Do you remember in Babylon they talked about that there was a wall built. They were trying to get to heaven, right? And then this is what they told us, that they built a wall. I'm telling you why they built the wall. They built the wall because they lost the natural connection to the heavens when they came here, but they didn't know why. All they know is that they wanted to get back to heaven and get his attention again, get their attention again.